In this video, we will talk about Gaussian distribution. In my previous video, I talked about what is exactly a Gaussian distribution. In simple words, we can say if our data set is following a Gaussian distribution, then our data is balanced data set. According to our first, second, and third deviation, which is known as empirical formula. This is known as our first standard deviation, and this is known as our second deviation, second standard deviation, and this is our third standard deviation. Standard deviation. So according to our first standard deviation, we will cover 68% of our data. And according to our second standard deviation, we will cover 95% of our data. And finally, in our third standard deviation, we assume that we covered our 99.7% of our data. So if our data is following this type of properties and show a normal distribution, this it means that our data is normally distributed or it is balanced dataset. But we know that we need y, and to draw this Gaussian distribution we need our x-axis or and y-axis both. So our given data is our x-axis. Our given data will be our x-axis. But for calculating the y, we have a formula. We have a formula something like that. In my previous video, I also state this formula. Okay, this formula is for our calculating a y-axis. We will use this formula to find our y-axis, and then we will try to plot our graph. If our data is following this graph, it simply means our graph is Gaussian distribution. So to find these values, we should know how to find mu and standard deviation. I already talked about that in my previous video. Check on the I button or check my playlist for that. So now I'm taking a random data over here and I will try to solve it to find the y-axis for that, and then we will try to plot a 2D plot and see our data is Gaussian or normally distributed or not. So I'm taking a random data like 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18. So this is a random data I take, and then it is our x-axis. So given data will be our x-axis. So to find the y-axis, we have to use this formula. We have to find our first mu and standard deviation for that. Now our standard deviation formula we already covered in my previous videos. I'm taking this formula randomly from an image. This is our standard deviation formula. I already solved a problem that how we can find a standard deviation in my previous video. Check on the I button or check my playlist to see that video. Okay, now I take my random data and we are going to check by mathematically either it is following Gaussian distribution or not. So for that, first we have to find out our mu. Mu is nothing but our population mean. So the mu formula will be equal to sum of all observation divided by number of observations. Or it can be written by mathematically like that, summation x of I upon n, and here I will be equal to 1 up to n. So I already find this value. The value will be, the summation will be equal to 113, and the total number of numbers we have 11. So it will be equal to nearly 10.27. Now we have our population mean. Now according to the formula, we have to find a standard deviation also. We have to find a standard deviation also. Sorry, not this. We have to find our standard deviation also. So to find the standard deviation, we have a formula under root x of I minus nu whole square upon n. It will be a summation of that I equal to 1 up to n. So we are going to find out our standard deviation. So our x1 minus nu will be equal to 2 minus 10.27 whole square 67 equal to, it will be equal to 67 point, not 67, it will be equal to 68, nearly 68.3. If we find our x2 minus nu, so it will be equal to 4 minus 10.27 whole square, it will be equal to nearly 39.3. So similarly, we have to find this for all the values. We can see that first I have used 2 over here, and I used a 2 over here. Second I used a 4 over here. I used a 4 over here. It is 4. Similarly, we are going to find out all these values for each our x-axis. I am simply writing a directly answer over here. So next will be equal to 18.2. So after that we have 10.6, 1.6, 0.07, 2.9, 13.9, 22.3, 32.8, 59.7. So these are the values of our calculations. So now we are going to add all these things according to our formula to find the standard deviation. So the summation of all these values will be equal to nearly 269.67. Now we have to divide. Now we have to divide this from number of observations equal to, it will be n. So we have our this value equal to 269.67 and our n is equal to 11. We have under root over here also. So now 269.67 upon 11 it will be equal to 24.5. Now under root of 24.5 will be equal to 4, nearly 4.9. It will be equal to 4.9. So now we have our standard deviation equal to 4.9 and our mean equal to 10.7. After finding this, we have to use finally this formula over here to find the y axis with respect to our x axis. So we can say that our y1 will be equal to 1 upon sigma is nothing but 4.9 under root 2 pi will be equal to 3.14 e to the power minus x will be our first data point. Our first data point is I'm putting it over here. Our first data point is 2, so it will be here to 2 minus 2 minus mean is equal to 10.27 whole square upon 2 into my sigma square. Sigma is nothing but our standard deviation 4.9. So our first part of calculation it will be equal to nearly 112.1 upon 12.2. So exponential, all these values will be equal to minus 1.4, nearly 1.4. So after defining this value, we are able to get 0.019, which will be equal to 0.019. This is our y1. So similarly, we have to find y2. So for y2, we have to replace our 2 with 4, and for y3 we have to replace with 6. Then we have to place 7, 9, then 10, then 12, and with all. So I'm writing over here directly. Okay, it will be equal to 12.2. I'm solving this exponential. After putting a 4 over here, we will get exponential minus 0.7. So after finding this value, we have our 0.03. Similarly, after solving these values, our y will be, okay, our y3 will be equal to 0.05. Now I'm not going to find all these values. You can solve this by yourself. So after getting all the values of x, y and y, our x will be our present data. Our given data will be equal to, this is our y, sorry, x. Now our calculated y values are, my first value is 0.019 and our y2 is 0.303, and so on. We can calculate these values by ourselves. Y3, y4. We have to just replace our x over here according to the formula. After that, after getting all these values, we can plot our 2D plot of normal distribution. So now, sorry, now if I say, if I have y values over here and x values over here. Now if I put 2 0.019, so it will be our first coordinate x comma y, 2 comma 0.019. It will be our it is our x and it is our y. So if I plot this value, let's say I have 2 over here and 0.019 something over here. So our point will be this. So now after that, our point is 4 and we have 0.03. So our next point will be something here. We can say we have 4 over here and 0.03 will be over here. So after calculating all these values, it is our x, it is our y. Our points will be something like that. Our points will be equal to, as will flow like this. So it will make our quotient distribution. So remember one thing, according we already seen in my previous video, our min will be the top between axis over here. The between value will be should be always equal to, we will find after plotting these things, our mean is 4.9. Our mean always lie between this value, 4.9. So if our mean is lying between this curve, so we can say that we are following, we are getting our normal distribution curve. Normal distribution curve. So we are having some more concepts related to this curve. We will talk about the skewness in that. So it will show if our data is normal distributed, then it will show us our that our data is balanced data set. So what happen if our norm if our curve is lying this, or our curve lying this? So it is our left skewed data, left skewed curve, and it is our, sorry for that, it is our right skewed curve. In my next video, I will talk about what is skewness, what is skewness, type of skewness. We are having a two types of skewness. One is left skewed curve, and second is left right skewed. And how our mean and median will play important role to know the type of skewness. This is all about today video. Please subscribe the channel. Bye.